Oh, thought we was gonna do the intro. Thought I had an extra 30 seconds. Welcome again. Welcome again to um, the third episode. The third episode officially and intro to game four of the midweek Bears Report. I am one of three hosts, Diab Muhammad, although also known as Coach Chef. Want to welcome everybody to the show. Um, how's everybody's week? I hope good. If you're a Bears fan, then it's tumultuous. That's the word. I hope I pronounced it correctly. It's been a rough week. I literally, personally, didn't even watch any Bears anything for several days just because I just couldn't. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. Avoided a lot of social media and everything else. But I want to welcome you once again, and we're going to go ahead and get this started. Right now, first we're going to switch up a little demo list a little bit. We're going to bring on one of our additional co-hosts. We're going to bring on S&V, otherwise known as Sugar and Vodka.
Hey y'all.
Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, since you're on, we'll keep this going by just letting you know that this show, as well as Chicago Clubhouse Network, is sponsored by Moore's Beer. Yeah. And also, just want to plug the other shows on the network. So, of course, still since it's baseball season, don't forget to tune in to Plunk by Emilio Bucks and Kristen. They talk they talk Sox and Cubs. I wanted to go to the Sox game today. Sox had $1 tickets. My son was home. My oldest son was home for Teachers in Service Day. And of course, I wait till last night this morning to buy the tickets, and they're sold out, so we didn't go anywhere. But it would have been great to pay $1 a ticket to take my boys out on Daddy Daycare Day. That's typically on Sundays, I believe. If I'm not correct me, producer. It's just the season is still going. They're still going to produce the show until the season is over. I'm not sure what they're doing for the playoffs. If the Cubs make the playoffs, because they're the only team in Chicago who has a shot.
They're also,
not. Look, we just Chicago sports fans are just having a rough sports year the last 18 months. Also, Tuesdays we have, of course, the Chicago Clubhouse podcast with T. Nick, JB, Falmar, Chris, and Frank the Tank. I'm not sure who their guest host is this week, but I'm sure it's going to be someone outstanding. Last week it was former Bear, former Clemson wide receiver. I always miss. Is it Eris? Is it Eris? He was a former Bears receiver, number 17. Played in the early 2000s or early to mid 2000s. He was on this past week, and this week I'm not sure who the guest will be, but I'm sure it'll be someone outstanding. T. Nick has all the plugs. So please tune into that on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget to check out Easy Does It on Friday. Easy will review Bears and any other thing Chicago related, since he's an all-around Bears fan. And once again, our other show we have, which is on a slight hiatus, of course, is She Said What She Said, while Sherry Green, we call her Cher Bear. Hopefully she'll be back with us by mid-October. So that's all we have for just updates for the network, as well as our sponsor, Moore's Beer. And without any further ado, I'd like to bring on our last host for today. That's my man, Amp.
Hey,
There he
hey,
is.
What it do,
all
brother?
right. Hey, second doctor. Hey, Coach Chef, how
Hey,
y'all doing today?
I'm
doing
all right.
good.
How you doing, sir?
I'm well. I'm well, man. Well, no, I'm not, but we can
I
continue.
feel I said in our miniature pre-show meeting that I was irritated. I'm irritated for many reasons. I'm irritated at the Bears. I'm irritated with myself. I call myself running hard in a baseball game, and I sprained my hamstring, which still hurts. And that was Monday. So, um, as my lady would say, you're not 20 years old anymore. And what makes it worse is
Oh,
it was an infield hit, and they called me out. I was like, look, hamstring or not, I beat that. I still got some feet. I can move, but I can't move. My movement is limited right now. Been limping
But you
all
can't
around the
move
house.
well.
Yeah.
okay.
So, also, don't forget, whoever's tuning in, please like and subscribe to the show, the Midweek Bears Report, as well as like and subscribe to all our shows and our network, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Please definitely view us on YouTube. That's we need the help with the algorithm. Give us likes. Not sure where we are. Also for the tunage for this week, we're going hard right now at 6 p.m. Right before the Thursday night football game. But the Bears ain't playing, so tune in to us to the end. Okay. So yeah, like and subscribe to us, to our network, to our show. We will be here every Thursday. Um, Unless the Bear, you know what, we have to talk about that, guys. What we're going to do for a Thursday night Bears game. I want to do a live stream. I want to like, obviously we can't show the game, but I want us to have like live reaction for the only one Thursday night game they have, I believe, against the Washington football team.
The
How you all feel about that?
live reactions. Oh,
Hey, that sounds like a winner, Coach. That sounds like a winner. Yeah,
We're gonna
I
go.
like that.
We're gonna talk that over with the producer and all the higher ups
Mhm,
in the network. I think that'd be a great idea. I think we
mhm.
should do a pregame for that, as well as a live reaction. All of us watching on Prime and get how we really respond to how the Bears are performing. I bet it will be
Oh,
entertaining, and I think that'll be a great way to get our views up while people can watch and view it with us. Um, yeah. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty. Sure, I think we're even earlier than I thought for the nitty gritty. What are you all's thoughts on last Sunday's game, Bears and Chiefs? Since I brought you on first, Sugar and Vodka, go right ahead.
right.
at least we didn't lose by 60, which I was afraid of, and probably could have easily happened. We didn't, so I was okay with it. I was like, all right, I'll take that. Thank you, Dolphins, for doing what you did. And
Okay.
mind you, though, I was at a sports bar all by myself,
Oh,
surrounded in red.
oh no.
I was in my black sports gear though, so
Okay.
I thought it was
I know I can't.
appropriate.
I know I can't. I don't know if I can ask you this. I'm trying to figure out what bar in the land far, far away that you were at that was pro Chiefs. I need to know what bar this is.
Everybody loves the Chiefs, no matter where you go.
Oh, so they're like bandwagons. Like I kind of like I enjoy the Chiefs. They're an entertaining team, but I'm not like I don't have no Chiefs gear. You know what I'm saying? I would have some Mahomes gear based on some information I found out about the last regime on how they viewed Mahomes and Mitch. But that's a conversation for a little later. Amp, what you got, brother? How you feel about the game this Sunday?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of Sugar and Vodka, man. It was very disheartening. I have to agree with what she said. Actually, it's one of the worst feelings I've had as a Bears fan in years, man. I mean, I've seen some bad losses and I've seen some bad teams, but this was just over the top. It was just man. I don't even have words for it, Chef. I don't have words, and unlike you, also, I didn't watch any social media. I wasn't listening to podcasts or anything like that. Just a bad feeling, man. I agree with what Sugar and Vodka said. Absolutely.
Um, yeah, I feel the
What
same
did
way.
you think?
So Sugar and Vodka, you watch it at a bar, and where you watch it at your crib?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I did something that I told myself I would never do, but I did it because I didn't want the game ruined. Because somehow I'd always, I'll tell you what, I work every Sunday, so I try to avoid everything on Sundays when I'm in the kitchen. I turn on music, and I try to avoid all my social media until I get home. But I was like, you know what? I got the Fox app. I'm gonna watch it while I'm at work. Mind you, I was working like a 14-hour shift at work. I worked breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I get up. I've been up since roughly 3 o'clock that Sunday, and I worked breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I watched the first game. Whoever Fox had on, I can't remember at this point. And then I watched the Bears game. And from the very beginning, knowing that they were going to lose, was like, man, we got to have some type of competent showing. And knowing all the turmoil they went through last week, it was sad from beginning to end. From beginning to end, it was sad.
Hey, that's been nice, man. That's been nice.
It was.
I appreciate the way you did
that. I'm gonna save the profanity for later because I could tell you how I really felt, but I wasn't having a good day at work. Like, day started out good, and then I kind of got behind. Everything felt well at work. It's just my personal mental timing as a cook.
I was gonna say you didn't burn anything, did you?
No. Food was on point. Food was on point.
Right.
I take pride in what I do for a living. But man, listening, and I had it on the speaker. I got the Bluetooth speaker, and some of the young guys were like, "Oh, is that the Bears game live?" I'm like, "Yeah," but my whole demeanor, it was, Lord, I can't even.
If only the Bears did what they did, took it seriously. Damn it.
Chicken and vodka, chef. Yeah, that sums it up. Like, whew. That's all we can say.
If they were a chef, they'd be burning everything.
Yes, the executive chef.
You know what, chicken and vodka? He's better than that. So he can multitask for sure.
So
the Bears can't.
It's like nothing about it was good. Like, you got Kelsey running rampant, and I get it. You can't stop a great guy. But every pass he caught, there was no one around him. Now, I will say, if you listen to the game or whatever, Kelsey does a lot of his own shit on the field. Like, even Patrick has said it, like, it could be a designed route, whatever. Sometimes he kind of does some schoolyard jogging, and then he's just open. But like, there was no one around him for literally none of his receptions. They stayed in that shitty ass zone. They didn't play any man. They didn't blitz. I heard a stat something about the Bears have blitzed 2% of the time on defensive snaps this year, which is I don't even know what to do with that kind of stat. 2%. The offense looked like it has looked every week prior to this. They didn't run the ball. When they did run the ball, it was adequate, but they didn't run the ball enough. They didn't wait till the second half until they started doing QB runs, but we're already down. Justin had the press conference the week before about, I got to do me. It's just Taylor. No, I doubt it. See, Taylor Swift was in. That's Josh Knight.
Go ahead, Chef.
No, what I was saying is that it's just the game was so poor. Like, the commentators started just talking about Taylor Swift.
Thank goodness.
Oh Lord,
she saved us.
They
forgot about how bad we were playing, how bad we were losing, and it took all the pressure off. So I was like, okay, this game isn't that bad.
Even the former Bear who wasn't doing a commentary, you could tell he felt bad. Like, they felt bad. Like, This isn't bad as the Browns game, Justin's first start, but it was pretty damn close.
Yeah. Hey, Chef, let me ask you this, Chef. Do you think that the Bears could have played man and blitz Patrick Mahomes successfully? Do you think that?
The answer to that obviously is no, but you didn't even try. Like, you sat in that zone and he picked, so you don't blitz versus Baker Mayfield and you don't blitz versus Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a young quarterback who has less than 5 career starts. You don't blitz Baker Mayfield, and you can say whatever you want about Baker Mayfield. He's an NFL quarterback. So if you don't blitz him and you don't get a pass rush, he's going to eat you alive, and that's exactly what he did. So what do you do against a great, literally the greatest quarterback in this current generation? What do? You do nothing. You run cover two. You don't give a pass rush. You don't send anybody. It was like a preseason game for them. Like it looked like 7-on-7. It looked like 7-on-7 for the Chiefs. Baker Mayfield, yeah.
So same question to you, Sugar and Baca. Do you think the Bears could have played man successfully without blitzing Patrick Mahomes? Do you think that? Okay.
You go nod. You're like a person who's been abducted. Like blink if you need help. Blink if you need help. But they like you didn't even try. You didn't even try.
That's my point. That's my point. You know what? We couldn't. Now, Eberflus is not the brightest cat in the room. You know what I mean? But he knew enough to know that if we went into man and he sent anybody, he tried to send a corner or safety or whatever, man, it was gonna be over. So they did what we do. You know, 4-man from the 3-4, and as far as the first thing, you get umbrella coverage. You know what I'm saying? And we got the exact same results, you know, that we got in the first 3 games, man. So, you know, and then I think that for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think that was more disheartening than anything, man. Like I said, I've watched a lot of bad.
It was just yet another game where we looked completely and totally unprepared. Again. It's getting old.
Mm-hmm. And then you playing the coverage and you still leaving guys wide open though. That ball. Now, yes, we got a lot of injuries in the secondary. Brisker's there, but he's the only. Well, him and Jalen are the only veterans. You dealing with a lot of guys with injury. I think they just signed another guy from another team's practice squad because we've had more secondary injuries. But you can just tell it looks like it. So say the first game, we have our full defense, our full 11 starting defense. So we haven't seen that starting defense essentially since like the first half of the first game. So now we got a bunch of subs, and I know the next man up mentality as an athlete, but the talent is going to suffer and the performance is going to suffer. And we're still. I told myself and I told you guys. I said I don't think this defense will be on the same pace until week 5 because there's too many new parts. But when you add in injuries and you add in guys you got to sign from the free agent list, free agency, and guys you got to sign from the practice squad, you're just going to have. It's going to take longer for the main starters to get any cohesion to be productive, and we still can't get a pass rush. I mean, the only bright side about the defense was we only allowed a touchdown in the second half because we allowed 35 in the first.
Yeah, so well, I don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was thinking, Chef. Like, at this point right now, and Sugar and Baca, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. At this point right now, with that unit that they have out there, I'm talking about the defensive side of the ball, man. I'm saying without that 3 technique D tackle, this is what we're gonna see. Without defensive ends, I mean certified defensive ends. 13 more games. I believe this is what we're gonna see. Do you guys see something different? Because we're getting gashed. We're getting gashed on the run. Tight ends are just lighting us up over the middle. You know, you got your linebackers trying to cover the tight ends. Which when you paying linebackers that kind of money, you can. But I want to bring this to you guys real quick, if you don't mind. I was the first one, Sugar and Baca and Chef. I was the first one last year when they traded Roquan Smith to say, like, man, you know, that was a good move. And this is why I said that. This is why I said it, because I said, it was just my opinion, that he wasn't a difference maker. He was a tackling machine, but he wasn't a difference maker. And I admit, I said that. And now I watch this defense and these linebackers. You know where I'm going with this, Sugar and Baca? You know where I'm going with this, Coach? I watched this defense and these linebackers making 16, 18 tackles a game, but leaving 20 on the field. So they're not making a difference. So it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. Was it Raquan stayed, or whether they traded him, or whether they brought Edwards in and Edmonds in? Without that 3 technique deep tackle and those defensive ends, them 2 defensive ends, the seal them ends, like this is what we're gonna get for the next 13 games. What do you guys think?
It is.
That's just what I see.
That's indeed what you got. But what do you think about that?
100% agree. And now, since Coach Fuckus is gonna be, calling the defensive plays all season, it's nothing's gonna change.
Stop. Just call him Coach Fuckus. That was a good one.
Hey, that's been nice. Sugar and vodka, that's real nice of you. That was real nice.
For both sides of the ball, it starts with the interior. We don't have a pass rush, which means our linebackers are in space, running right to left, left to right, and then our secondary is lost. A pass rush covers up so many deficiencies you'll have at the second and third level. Same way with the offensive line. Now, there's a significant stat that says Justin has had multiple times, but that is another whole coaching thing about what is he doing, what is he seeing, why is he not letting the ball go on plays where you have open guys? Is he being overcoached? Then you can say, well, maybe he's not developing fast enough. I'm like, well, the development has to come from the coaching staff, and how much are you force feed? At some point, we all were in school, we all did things to where too much information will stop you from performing what you're supposed to do and have you thinking. And once you start thinking, I know that there's a thing, why are you stop thinking? But it's just between thinking to process, and then the alternate is thinking. The process is so slow that you're not reacting. And in a sport, no different. Now, I'm a cook now, so I compare to cooking. There's times where we don't have an ingredient or something like that, and you got to be able to think on the fly. You got to just be able to react. Sunday morning, we didn't have. But I planned it for the night before. We didn't have squash for a soup I was supposed to make. So the night before, I said I'm going to switch it to carrots. I'm just subbing a squash for carrots, and then I saw a recipe and I just changed the entire soup. And I just went with it, and I produced the soup. Like, you just got to go with what you have. And if you're going to bog people down or your players with so much information that they can't react and be athletes, as a coach, you've got to reel it back. I only coach high school football. But I can only practice the plays. I can only give the plays to my offense that they can handle. If they can't handle it, I got to scratch it. If my quarterback can't read a basic high school cover 3 formation where you're reading outside to inside, reading number 1, especially depending on the route concept, whatever, with basic routes in high school, slants and seams and curls, then I got to make it. I have to make it even simpler. If you can't make it simpler, you're going to continuously not allow your athlete, especially your quarterback, the guy who's driving this offense, to not perform. So, yeah, real fast. Go ahead, Em.
So I was just about to say. So if nothing changes. You know what I'm saying, Sugar and Vodka? We have 13 more weeks of this, babes. You know what I'm saying? And that coaching staff, like you said, Sugar, like, man, I get it. We don't have. First of all, we don't have the pieces for that defense to run that defense successfully. We just don't. And as long as he's there, man, this is gonna be. Man, you talk about humbling. I'm that same cat, but then I had to think about it, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a total rebuild. Tear down and rebuild, and so
been rebuilding since '85. Been rebuilding since '85.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but no,
that's true.
But I think we all forgot that. A bulk of us have forgotten that. A bulk of us have forgotten this is the second year of a rebuild, and because of the free agent signings, and because of either national media or just local media and what we believe is Bear fans, I think a great most of us, we overhyped this team. And full discrepancy, I said it in episode 1, officially week 2. I said I had this team winning 7 games max because this team doesn't have enough veteran leadership, enough pure talent at all positions to be a playoff team yet. And they look worse. And that goes to coaching, not being prepared, adjustments, and all that other stuff. Before we move on, before I get you all's game grades, I want to get you all's game grades. I want to do this every week. I'm going to go ahead. I just want to just show us again, unfortunately, and the followers and listeners and viewers, I just want to show some highlights of the game that we all want to forget. So, producer, whenever you got those, go ahead and roll them.
Third down. Mahomes has time over the middle. Incomplete. Rashi Wright. They are backed up here. 4-man rush. Fields flush out of the pocket, in trouble. Throws on the run and on the fake. Fields, a lot of time. Can't find anyone. Pressure from Dana. He escapes. There goes Fields. First down and more inside the 40. And it's 3rd and 4. Here's Gabbert. Some pressure coming. Gets it away, and it's intercepted. Jack Sanborn's got it. One man to beat. Sanborn, if he can do it. And he is going to be taken up by the Chiefs. Here's Fields on a play fake. Design run. Looking for a seam. Fields going to slide. Fans are booing. They like the shutout, obviously. And Santos ends the shutout.
Just at this pace, I'm not sure if that's in the cards.
Gabbert over the middle, knocked around and intercepted.
Find something. We got to get Fields a little help here in the passing game. Role in fourth quarters. This is a deep, talented group.
Fields going deep. Oh, good catch.
Stays out, like you said.
Fields on a slant. Moore's got it for the touchdown.
Well, those were the lowlights mostly of the game. We don't even record a turnover this season until a backup Blaine Gabbert, former first round draft pick, a legit bust as far as the projections on him going in the first round, until he plays. That's when we get our turnovers. That's not beneficial. So before we go on, let me do this. Let's go ahead and use this. Sugar and Box. We'll start with Amp this little round real fast. Amp, give me your grades. I didn't get grades last week, but it's whatever. Let me get your grades. And I know what they'll be, but I just need to keep record of this so we can see the progression of what we perceive watching these games. I get your grades on, I'm not even going to do special teams. Coaching, whether it's you want to do coaching in general. That's how bad the game is. Let me break it up because the head coach is the defensive coordinator and he controls everything. Head coach grade, offensive performance grade, and defensive performance grade.
Okay. Coach is an F. Offensive grade, or is that the play calling, or is that the players? Doesn't matter. That was an F. And who else? What else?
Defensive performance.
Just insert an F right there also. So yeah. I think so.
S&V, what's your grades? Coaching in general, all of coaching, combine it all. Offensive, defense.
Coaching was an F.
Offensive performance.
Offense, I'll give them a D- this week. just because. And defense, I'll give them an E for effort, which really wasn't any, but yeah.
E for effort. I got to put effort in there. Coaching, bro, it's an F. Like nothing about the coaching, the adjustments even in the second half. It's like they didn't exist. Offensively, they definitely didn't exist. You didn't even see a quarterback run until the game was over. Like what? He ran for 1,000 yards last year. Yes, I know. Don't let him run a lot, but you gotta run him. It's a tool. You don't have a tool and don't use it. That's like telling Shaq, hey, I know you got this 15-foot jump hook. Stop dunking. Don't dunk no more. Like, what?
That's like telling LeBron, don't flop. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Exactly. Offense, There was no rhythm, no cohesion. That's definitely an F. That's an F plus. And then defense with injuries and just lack of cohesion, I'm gonna just give him a D, just because we got a lot of people. I mean, I could break down position groups, but I don't want to do all that right now. We had a comment before from a guy named Tony, a producer. If you could find that comment about him wanting to sit Justin Fields, can you find that so we can get our opinions on that? I want to read the whole comment.
You first, Sugar and Vodka. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
Sit Justin reflect his mind and get that fire in his belly. Oh God, people in that fire in their belly. Do you even know what that is, Tony? Anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Sugar Vodka.
What do you think, Sugar and Vodka? What do you think about that? And then I'll give my opinion. Go ahead, baby.
I don't think sitting him is going to make any difference whatsoever. I think even if we put Badgett out there, he'll probably end up getting hurt and out for the season, to be honest. So I don't think it's going to make anything better or any situation any different, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I have to say, I'd have to say that if Justin Fields was any other player playing any other position on any other team, that they would sit him. They would sit him. You know what I mean? That's just a fact. I'm not standing up here saying let's put Begin in, anything like that. All I'm saying is if he was any other player at any other position on any other team playing the way he's playing, they would bench him. So you guys can take that and run with it, because it's what I feel.
I don't think you
What
can
about
sit
you?
him.
What about you, folks?
I don't think you can sit him. These are reasons why. The guy behind him who a significant, I don't know what to call it significant, a number of fans want to see is Badgett. I don't think it's going to look any better. And even if it does, if it looks even a tad bit better, then we've got a quarterback controversy. We don't need that, and we're not even at game 6, and this is still year 2 of a rebuild. And then we don't even have an adequate veteran backup, like a legit. We don't have the Red Rifle right now, who just lit it up for the Carolina Panthers. We don't have a Gardner Minshew. We have a backup who his job is not really backing up on the field. His job is like the field guy or in practice guy and the schematic backup. Like they have those in the NFL at multiple positions, actually. He's not the backup you want to see in the game to give Justin a quarter, a half a game. Like you want to see Peterman? You want to see a guy who has twice as many interceptions and touchdowns in a game with the Bears with this offense? Why? So guess he can look good because he doesn't run. I mean, I think you got to ride it out. I think you have to ride out Justin Fields at least until between weeks, like I said, 10 and 12. If it looks that bad, then you consider sitting him for Badgett, if that's even a thing, which I don't even agree to do that. So those are great. Go ahead.
Let me ask you before you on this question too. How much worse can it get with Fields? This question is directly to you, Chef. How much worse can it get? And then, as a matter of fact, I want Sugar and Vodka to piggyback off of your answer. How much worse can it get for Fields?
The worst it could look is what's the young guy out of the Jets? That's how bad. That's the worst it could be. He is statistically in all metrics. Zach Wilson. He's statistically the worst quarterback by. Yeah, Zach Wilson. He's statistically the worst by QBR and a whole bunch of other metrics. And he has a defense. And he has a legit defense. Now, the Jets are a whole nother fuckery system with their offense and, criticism for their offensive coordinator. But the worst he can look is he can look lost. Now, there's different forms of looking lost. He looks lost because he's being overcoached, or you can look lost because you can look fearfully lost. He doesn't look like Zach Wilson. He doesn't look like Zach Wilson. So that's not much to hang our hats on. And we're not the only 0-3 team, but we're one of the worst 0-3 teams, which is not even much to say anyway. What you got, Sugar Baka? How do you?
I think with the Bears, it can always get worse. You know what I mean?
So you're calling us
like,
the Jets and the Browns.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a bottomless pit. That's why I don't ever want to ask, well, how bad, how more bad can it get? Because it can get so much worse. And I don't even want to know. And I don't even want to speak into fruition and be like, no. So I don't even want to do that. But yeah, it could get much worse.
I mean, obviously you can.
And the Jets probably will lose by 60 on Monday.
The defense is really good. They have a defense. They actually have a legitimate bona fide defense. Hey, let's do this real fast. Hey, producer, can you scale up the last 10 comments starting with let's see who to start with. Let's start with Skylark99. Let's start with that comment. Calls when you are looking for a head coach candidate. Justin Fields needs help development. Let's start with that comment and let's roll it down. Let's get one of us to comment on each comment. Just one of us to comment on each comment. Can you find that, producer? Start with that. We'll start with you, Amp. Go ahead and read that out, or go ahead and answer it. I have a comment for it.
Go read it. Read it, Chef. Read it.
Because when you were looking for a head coach candidate, Justin Fields needed help and development. All three offensive coaches, head coach, offensive quarterback coach, who all know the offense and defense, offense and quarterback. Yeah. Oh, okay. I kind of see what he's saying. I guess he's trying to say that you should have hired an offensive-minded head coach. What do you think about that?
Well, if it's between his ears, I'm talking about Justin Fields. If it's between his ears, it doesn't matter whether it's a D coordinator or offensive coordinator. It's getting the right offensive coordinator. It's getting the right quarterback coach. That's what it is. And you know what? And just real quick, that's my biggest fear. That's why I'm looking like the way I'm looking right now. You know what I mean? My biggest fear is 13 more games of these coaches with Justin Fields. And I don't know personally, like now, I really don't know if Justin Fields is the guy because how he's being coached. I don't want him to end up like, I'm not going to mention any names. I don't want him to end up like other quarterbacks because he wasn't coached up right. And that's my biggest fear. So it doesn't matter whether it's an offensive coach that was hired or defense. What do you think, Sugar?
Hold on. I'm gonna let you answer that one. Can I get the next comment after that, producer? After the Skylark comment, I'm gonna get just comments, reactions to comments from everyone who's viewing in today. If you can, I can say it out loud. After Skylark, Josh Knight had a comment that says Bears seem to damage quarterbacks. What do you feel about that, Sugar and Vodka?
How can anyone not agree 100%? It's what we do. It's where QBs go to end their careers, even if it's never even begun. It's what happens. And it doesn't matter who we bring in. We're going to ruin them because we're not capable of raising a superstar QB. Even if we would have gotten Mahomes would have, been out there looking like a Trubisky, and sadly how Fields is right now.
I don't know about that. I think he's special, but I get your point.
I don't think so. We would have ruined him.
I believe since '85, the Bears have drafted 3 quarterbacks in the first round. I believe in order they are. No, I'm sorry, it's 4. It's 4 quarterbacks the Bears have drafted in the first. It's Cade McNown from UCLA. Rex wasn't the first round. Yes, he was. Rex was the first round quarterback. Rex Grossman.
Rex was the first one.
He was the what?
Then Cade McNown. Rex was the first one. Then Cade McNown.
No, Cade was first. Cade was in the 90s. Rex was in the 2000s. It was Cade McNown. I remember that because he played with a running back named Skip Hicks. I lived in Arizona at the time. It was Cade McNown. It was Rex Grossman. then it was Mitch Trubisky, and then it, of course, is Justin Fields. And three of those quarterbacks, two of the three shouldn't have been drafted in the first round. I don't believe Cade McNown was first round quality, especially if you really look at that quarterback. That quarterback, I think it was 96, 97-ish or whatever. Rex threw interceptions in college. He came out of that Steve Spurrier offense. Then Trubisky, who I just found out watching another through Luke, a guy named Lucas who worked with the Bears under the old regime, that it was between Trubisky and Mahomes. And because they had a fear of the Browns trading up for him, that's why they traded up. That's what we all heard. They traded up and they felt they had conviction for taking Trubisky over Mahomes. And Watson, they didn't even have Watson as a first-round quarterback. Had him as a second-round quarterback. Those were the two guys that they were fighting over or debating over. And they took Mitch just because they thought someone was going to take Mitch ahead. So I guess they had Mitch 1A and they had Patrick Mahomes 1B. But sometimes I think talent succeeds. The next comment right after that, and then of course Justin Fields, and it seemed like we're ruining him too. But two of those guys I don't think were salvageable. I don't think that Cade McNown was salvageable mostly because of his own mentality.
And one more thing to say. Yeah, Mahomes is good. But I think Andy Reid is the one that's special. Just like Bill Belichick. They can get a QB and bring him to where he needs to be.
Right. Those guys are they're known. They've had success ratings for quarterbacks since before they were head coaches. Let's do another comment. I'll answer the next one or her comment, I guess. Or maybe we'll have Amp do it. See, after the Johnny Skylark 99. Yep, very true. Justin makes the 35th starting quarterback during the Favre and Rodgers era. Yep, we know that. I mean, that's a stat that we've seen on all types of media. Yes, the Packers have a great track record with quarterbacks, but we're not the only team that has gone through multiple quarterbacks in the past 25, 30 years. Josh Knight, you can't bitch him when they're telling him not to play his game.
It's on you. What do you think? I have an opinion on that. Go ahead, Chef. Don't skip past that one. You take care of that, Chef. Take that question.
I agree. I don't think you can bench him. Not now. And I get it. The record is bad. The head coach record is awful, and so is his personal record as the starting quarterback. But I think that we saw games. There were games where we averaged 30 points a game last year with him running and throwing with less talent, and we're not. And like, how do you regress from that? Like that wasn't an anomaly. I don't believe. Watching those games, he looked competent. He looked confident. And if you look that competent and confident in those games, then that means there's legitimacy there. It just goes back to the coaching staff, putting him in positions to continuously feel confident in what he's doing, what he's seeing, and building on that confidence. The next comment, go ahead to the next comment, producer, right after Judd. This is for you, Amp. Tony says the way things go, we hire a cheap offensive coach, then he doesn't pan out, we hire a defensive guy, then the offensive guy, then the offensive guy. Eberfluk is a defensive coach. Guess who's next? Oh, I guess he's trying. Well, okay, so I guess the thing is that the Bears seem to alternate. They alternate philosophies as head coach: offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense. Okay, how do you?
Okay,
what do you
think
about that?
The way I see it, first, let's start with this part first. This has nothing to do with money. The hiring of these coaches, as he says, you know what I mean? This has absolutely nothing to do with money. This is all about getting the right coach for the right player, you know what I'm saying, and putting them in the right system. That's what it is. You know, it could have been Fangio. I'm just using it as an example. It could have been Fangio as our head coach and Jay Fields as our starting quarterback. If Fangio doesn't hire the right offensive coordinator and the right quarterbacks coach, guess what we're gonna get? Same Justin Fields we got now. So it's not about money. It's not about the position that the head coach, you know, whether he's on the offensive side or defensive side of the ball. It's what I believe, what I just said. Yep.
So you're saying it's the choices from the higher ups, from the people who are hiring the head coach, we're just not making the right selection. Because prior, so the last coaching cycle wasn't Mike McDaniels. No, actually, it was Mike McDaniels. Might have been, I don't know if they brought him in. He's in with the Dolphins now. We could have had a chance at the old Cardinals offensive coordinator, head coach, Bruce Arians, before we hired Trestman. We didn't get him. We brought him in, didn't like him. I don't know if the Bears thought about it. In any time that we ever bring in, I think we were spooked off by Nagy that we didn't bring in the head coach, the offensive coordinator who's now with Washington. It's just like we keep not getting the right guy, and then the guys we don't get tend to be more successful. The names in the out there. All right, what else we got for comments? Sugar and Vodka. Let's see. Before we move on to your segment, let's get one more good one for you to comment on. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Blah blah. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Although we kind of talked about it, but yeah, put that one up with Mike again. Okay, if we don't put it up, I'm gonna read it. The comment for you, I want you to respond to S&D. Yep, that one right there. They aren't taking Justin out, and if they do, Badgett isn't going in. They're just going to put Peterman in because he knows the playbook so well. Do you agree? If that was the case, if they did bench Justin, do you think that's their route, the Peterman?
I don't think they're going to bench Justin, though he may get injured because last week he damn near did, and thankfully Moore was able to,
to get him off the field.
Yeah, quickly. So no, I don't agree with that, but I do think if they put Badgett in, it's not going to end good. And Peterson knowing the playbook, I don't really know about that. I don't know if anybody knows their playbook, to be honest. I don't even.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one, Sugar. That's a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
So here's my question to all of you, to both of you, I should say. Have you, as a Bears fan, given up on this season already? In 3 weeks, have you given it? Have you completely thrown in the towel and doesn't think they can't have a mid-season, late-season resurgence of things starting to click? Have you given up on this season as a Bears fan? Sugar
Ladies
Vodka.
first. Go ahead, Sugar and Vodka. You first, babes.
I haven't given up on the season. I don't think we're going to do anything, but I haven't given up on the season. I just think that I don't think we're going to be able to get it together, and they're not going to allow it to get together. The coaching is horrible, and I think right now they're trying to save their asses because we didn't even know we were going to take Fields. We thought about taking Mahomes, and all the other bullshit that they're coming up with now is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So, Trubisky we were talking about Mahomes, and then we weren't even going to pick Fields, and it's just like they don't even know. I think they're just trying to save their asses right now because the coaching is so bad, and they know they're on the hot seat when they should all be fired. But we know it's not going to happen. They're going to be there for the whole season, and it's just going to be a mess. But have I given up? Of course not. I'm still going to be there watching every game. I'm still going to be wearing my Bears gear every Sunday. And what can you do? As Coach Fuckus would say, it is what it is.
All right, have you given up on the season in 3 weeks? Have you given up on it?
I was listening to Sugar and Vodka, so I had to differentiate between the giving up on the season and giving up on the team. So I just want to put that out there. That out there. So
True.
Actually, I have given up on this team. I have, and the reason I've given up on this team is because of the coaches, the coaching scheme that they're putting out there. It's hard to win when your coaches are inept. It's hard. I'm saying when you give your quarterback, you give him 2 plays. You give him 2 plays. You give him a pass play and a run play. He's either out of run or pass, but you don't give him the decision to make the call on his own. is run or pass. But you see your line stacked. It's stacked. So, you pretty much setting them up for failure, man. So I've actually given up on this team. And check this out, for me to say that hurts, because that means it's 13 more games with this coaching staff with Justin Fields. Like I seen him in college. I know what he could do in college, and I just don't want to believe what my eyes are showing me every Sunday. That he could digress that fast, which has been 3 years from college to the pros. Right now, like, man, I just want the season to be over. To be honest, I don't want them putting anything else in that kid's head. You know what I mean? I don't want them to put anything else in his head.
Hold on. I have to say that I totally agree with him. I 100% fucking agree. My eyes, they cannot believe what we're watching. It's like my mind, my brain, and my heart. It's like a constant conflict. And it's just like, that's not what I'm watching, right? So I agree with that.
Have I given up? No, I have not given up on the season. I'm having my doubts in general are weighing with everyone, and I'm not going to start with Kevin Warren because he's super new. With Poles, but he's only his second year as a GM, because, in all honesty, if they get rid of everybody, or quote unquote everyone at the end of the season, they're only going to get rid of the coaching staff. They're not getting rid of the Poles. They're going to give him more time because he hasn't drafted quote unquote his quarterback, or he has enough time to turn the roster over. And they're not going to fire Kevin Warren. This dude just ran the Big Ten. Like, I think that was actually really excellent move by the McCaskies, bringing him in. But I have not given up on the season, because I still think the season is salvageable for them to progress. Now, the question that I have is, if you see progression, do you still keep these guys? Like, say even if you start with this game, say game 3, 4 through the rest of the season, they still finish like I thought they would finish at 7-10. Do you still keep? Are we still going to keep Getsy? Like, you can fire the coach with a winning. Like, there are coaches who get fired or replaced or resign, and like, you can still get rid of them. Like, I think if anyone gets fired, if they finish 7-10 and they start looking better in increments, you got to get rid of Getsy, because he showed a pattern of doing things. So beginning of last season, they looked horrible. Then they had a meeting. They said, hey, we need to start doing things like how the Ravens kind of do things. Then they started scoring 30 points a game, and the defense started to tail off. So they started losing those closer games. They lost some one-score games. And then at the end of the season, he gets hurt or whatever. So you're following a trend. If you can't start off hot just because you don't get the reps in the preseason, and then you don't even show up to the midseason, you can't be a playoff team if you can only show up midseason, end of the season. What if the teams in the NFC Central start to actually play better? So you got to get rid of him if anybody else. But no, I personally have not given up on the season. All right, let's move on to the segment that we have. The segment we are bringing we have 3 new segments we started last week. The first new segment, we're going to switch it up a little bit, is called Sugar and Vodka. She's going to give us her things that perhaps made her want to take a spoonful of sugar, things that are sweet about this past game, and things that made her want to take a shot of some vodka. So, it's all you. Go right ahead.
Well, my first thing is that I'm glad T Swift showed up at the game. I loved seeing her. I loved her taking the edge off. And they weren't talking about us, how badly we were doing. They were only talking about T Swift, and they were showing her more than they were showing the game. So it was nice for me to see. I loved every bit of it. I'm an obviously Swiftie, and I was happy for that. The vodka part was literally everything else. And everything that the coaches have said through this week. Oh, well, I like the look in their eye. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You like the look in their eye. Oh, I think we have something special getting ready to start. When? Really? When? I don't see it. I don't think anybody else sees it. So when, Getsy? What are you talking about? That's what will never just make sense. It's like, what the fuck is these coaches talking about? They talk, and it's like they're talking out their ass. Nothing makes sense. And I don't even know what they're saying anymore. And I don't even watch the press conferences anymore, because all they did was piss me off and ruin my day. So I no longer watch, because I know I'll see the excerpts and tweets and on social media about the idiotic things that they said that always makes no sense and just pisses you off more because they're inept. And Getsy, he should be fired. But then again, Coach Fuckus should be fired. But are they? No. We can go 0-17, and I'm sure they'll bring him back next season because that's the Bears organization.
Hey, thank you, Sugar.
And the rest of the 20 seconds, after all that, I think I'll just sip my vodka.
There you go. There you go. So, kind of on schedule what we have. So we got to do this. We got to break the monotony. We got to do something to make us feel better. Do something to make me feel good. If anyone goes to that movie, let's just go ahead and just do the intro. Like, who we got week 4? Broncos. We got Broncos week 4. They just come off a historical loss to the Miami Dolphins, who offensively are the best team in the NFL right now, 70-20. They did produce 70. Their defense is worse than it was last year. So we play them. That's the Bears home game, right? Oh, I'm mad I didn't write that. I just wrote Bears Broncos. Is that a home or away?
It's home, I believe.
Home. Denver is at home. They're here.
We're at home.
Yeah.
We're at home. We're actually favored in the game. So it's literally
No. We are not favored. We are an underdog. We are not favored.
3.5 point dogs.
But no, we are the underdog.
3.5 points.
110%.
Oh, you're right. It's plus. Right. My bad. Plus. You were plus 3.5. Plus 3.5 at home. Because I was doing the wager. We'll get to that closer to the end of the show. But yes, we are underdogs at home by 3.5. And we play a team that has statistically a worse defense. Just to bring up statistical stats real fast, the Bears after 3 weeks are 29th in total yards given up at 407.3 yards per game. We're 31st out of 32 teams in scoring defense at 35.3 points a game. We're 30th in pass defense, allowing 285.7 yards. We're 20th in rush defense, giving up 120 yards a game. And we are last. And we all seen this. We cannot get off the field on third down. Not 3rd and 2, not 3rd and 3, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 9. All the 3rd and 9, all the 3rd and longs. We can't get off the goddamn field. We are last. Our defense is allowing the offense to succeed on third downs at a 60% clip, which is atrocious. So that's us defensively. The only team that ranks lower than us in those other 4 statistics because of that bad showing they had against the Dolphins is the Denver Broncos. But they do have a competent quarterback. They got some offensive weapons, and we can't touch the competent quarterback who likes to hold the ball a lot. He does like to hold the ball a long time, and he is not as mobile as he was when he was younger. And Russell Wilson. So yeah, we play the Broncos here at home. Let's do just a group breakdown. Whose coaching staff? This is even funny me asking. Whose coaching staff do you trust more? Do you trust the Broncos coaching staff more or the Bears coaching staff more?
Is this a real question? Is this a real question, Chef?
I'm sorry.
Is this a legit question?
Is this where we're going?
I'm sorry.
To answer this
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. I'm wondering if I should laugh or cry. If I should laugh or cry to that. Is this a real question?
You want to go by position there? You want to skip the coaches? Want to skip coaches?
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Skip coaches.
I passed the sugar and vodka. Go ahead. I passed out the sugar and vodka. Go ahead.
I'll
Go
answer.
ahead.
Wait, hold on, sugar vodka. I'm gonna get your answer, but I'm not gonna do that because if I do that, it's gonna be a laughing stock. What I want to do is, what group, what position group, what coaching group, what part of the game do we have an advantage versus the Broncos? Whether it be, I'm just gonna rail them down: coaching, quarterback, running back, O-line, D-line, tight end, receiving, linebacker group, DB group, special teams, kicker, punter, kick returner, punt returner. What group of anything, coaches or a position group, do we have an advantage over the Denver Broncos in your opinion? Thank you, JB.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
The question was for Sugar and Vodka. What advantage do we have in this game? What advantage?
I guess our receiving. I'm not sure. Our punchers. Punting. There we go. Punting.
Special teams. Somebody else. Crazy Steve said special teams. I would. That's sad. Special teams is a key part. I don't know if it's going to save us in this game. Football is the devil. Bobby Boucher reference. But so you say seriously, special teams. You think our kicking, punting, and our return specials is the only advantage we have in this game?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what you got, Amp? If you could pick any group.
I have nothing.
Really?
I don't see.
They allow 7.
Seriously. Out of all jokes aside.
Check this out. The Bears allowed 7 points in the second half. The Broncos allowed another 35 plus points after they gave up 35 in the first half. We gotta be better than them in something.
But you know what they do have? What the Broncos do have that the Bears don't? They have Sean Payton as the head coach. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. And so, what all I'm trying to say is like we don't stand a chance. And I know it's the lesser of two evils, 2 0-3 teams. But when you look at the Denver side of coaching and who the quarterback is and their defense is decent, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to our side, you come to our side, man, and you compare that to what Denver has, even though both of them are 0-3, that's why Denver is a 3.5 favorite, man. There is no bright light on the Bears side. Like I said, everybody knows all that hard, man. I'm just counting every game. So this thing can be over. You know what I'm saying? I'm just counting every game. And praying that they'll stop talking to Justin Fields, man, and just let him go out there and do what he do. Stop trying to coach him. Whatever they call that, they call it coaching. I don't know what it is they're doing to the kid, but I need them to stop it. I need them to stop it like now. You know what I mean? And let him do what we've seen him do at the end of the season. So if he's not a pocket quarterback, so be it. Let him run. Design some runs. Put some runs in there.
They have to let him do something. Something.
That's what I'm saying, Sugar. That's exactly what I'm saying. Let him do something, man. And we started at the end of the year, so they was like, "Oh, he's a running quarterback, not a passer." Okay. Oh, now we know. Let him run then. Design some runs. Do you know what I'm saying? If you got to move the pocket. Let him throw on the run, but don't. Right now, compared to Denver, that's why Denver is 3.5 point favorites.
They definitely need to start moving the pocket.
Because of their coach and Russell Wilson. And so, no, I have absolutely no faith in the Bears. Matter of fact, this is one of the worst seasons I've ever seen. And you guys know how long I've been a Bears fan. And so now what I'm doing is I'm counting games down. And I remember doing this like a lot of years. I just want it to be over. You know what I'm saying? As long as we wait, as football fans, you guys know what I'm talking about. As long as we wait, as long as we wait for football season to get here, and then I'm like, well, I give up. I surrender. Just let it be over. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
The one thing that I can say though, Am,
one second.
is the Dolphins. The Dolphins won by 60, and they are the underdogs this weekend.
So, Am, you got to save that energy because your segment is about to come up. Okay, save that energy. So,
what energy? Jeff?
I got nothing else.
What energy, baby? What energy?
He's like, I got nothing now.
I hear you.
He's like, shit, wasn't that my segment?
who I think where do we have an advantage? I think I would agree. I think we have an advantage on special teams, and I also think we may have an advantage on the defensive side. I know that sounds horrible, but when you give up 70 points, and I think that the Dolphins' offense is much better than they have more speed than the Chiefs. Now, JB made a comment like we would have gave up 70 to Patrick Mahomes. We weren't trending that way. That we were getting some stops here, there, but they're not running on all cylinders, Chief. The Dolphins are running on all cylinders. But I think our defense is better. I think they're better coached. Unfortunately, that sounds odd. There go little chef. I think that we're not allowing as many points as they are because they just went up. Like we are 31st in scoring defense, but I think they're worse. So I think this may be a high scoring game, but I'm not sure because I don't trust the offensive coaches. But the only benefit I can see is that if you allow 70 points a game, like shit. By pure statistics alone, we're better. We're better, even though 70 is a historical thing. Only 3 teams in NFL history have scored that much. But I give our special teams and defense. Hopefully, we can get another turnover. But they have skill guys. They don't really have a running game. They're not really running the ball. But Russell Wilson is playing better, which means that he can pick us apart. And because they have better receivers and our secondary is diminished by injury, I think that's their advantage. I think their advantage is offense. Our advantage has to be defense, or we get in the shootout of some sort because they're not doing a lot of defensively either. So, with that being said, with our mini breakdown, because there's not much to break down, we're that bad as the Bears as a team. We're going to go ahead to the amped up segment. I don't have a time clock for the 2 minutes. You go for the 2 minutes, Amp?
Yeah, I got it, man. I got it.
Okay, so I need you to have a time clock for 2 minutes to give him the show. We're going to do it, and we're going to give you the spotlight in 3, 2, 1. Amped up.
Yeah, man. I'm amped up about that defense or lack thereof. I understand that we have a lot of injuries in the secondary. But that play call, first of all, not going out there and getting that 3 technique D tackle. That is disheartening, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? And watching that front 4 getting gashed every week because we did not get that 3 technique D tackle. And then watching our linebackers, you know what I'm saying, just consistently miss plays or consistently make plays that game changing. That's the word I'm looking for, game changing. You know what I'm saying? We can't run a man. We're supposed to be running a 4-3. It looks, I don't even know what that is, man. I don't even know what it is. I'm so disheartened. You know what I'm saying? We got in the secondary, we got rookies and third stringers and my guy Stevenson, who I you know what I'm saying, went all out on the line for. I mean, I believe this kid's gonna be good, but he's making some crucial mistakes. You know what I mean? It's not just like pass interference. It's like, personal fouls. Leading with the helmet, and this is all coaching. So my thing is I'm amped up about that defense, man. I'm amped up about the coaches, which is Evil Puss, because he's calling that nonsense. I'm amped up about the one who put it together. You know what I'm saying? Who put that defense together? Who did not go and get us 2 defensive ends, 2 real defensive ends? I'm amped up about our linebackers that you pay all this money, and they're making 18 tackles a game. One is making 18. One made 18 last week, and one made 12. But to combine, they left almost 30 on the field. 30 missed tackles. And so, we could have cut Raquan Smith, man, for that bread, because I'm the first one that said that he wasn't a difference maker. And so we let him go, and then we bring in two linebackers that are not so far difference makers. So I believe that's my rant, man. I believe that's the time. Thank you. I think.
All right. That was a very systematically tempered down, amped up. I think that you're not even riled up because of the disappointment and sadness for this past week, because you stayed right here. You didn't even hit that level. But that's a segment, Amped Up, where Amp gives you 2 minutes unadulterated of fuel fuel ignited anger, hostility toward something different with the Bears. This week it was it everything? No, it was defense. This week was defense. Last week was coaching. This week was defense. All right, so okay, now there's slightly behind. That's okay. Just want to do a quick update on NFC news. Our rivals and other teams tonight, Thursday night football. The Packers and Lions are about to take hold. Yep, they're about to start. I just turned it on. Myself, Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell and his Fighting Lions versus the Packers. That game is in Lambeau tonight. Do you all have a favorite tonight?
Yeah. Go Lions! Go Lions all the fucking way. Fuck the Packers. Fuck the Packers.
Any team playing the Packers is the favorite. You're right, Sugar. Any team playing the Packers, that's my favorite.
Alhamdulillah, yes. I got the Lions too. Also, update: we're not the only 0-3 team in the NFC North. So are the Vikings. Now, obviously, they're a much better team than we are, but they are still 0-3. You are what your record is, and they are 0-3 just as well as us. Kirk Cousins had a Kirk Cousins moment. I don't know if it was Kirk Cousins or the coaching staff at the end of the San Diego game. Instead of spiking the ball to stop the clock, they run a play. He throws an interception. Very Kirk Cousins-like. But I blame the coaching staff. Like, spike it. Get the time. They got the first down. He throws a pick the very next play as they're rushing. So I know that's demoralizing to not know how to work the clock. That's a very huge thing. Even though I think their head coach is pretty damn good. McConnelly, I think his name is, former back at San Diego State. All right. So let's do this once again. It's about that time. Please, 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 please like and subscribe to this show, the Midweek Bears Report. Little Chef is running crazy right now. Please like and subscribe to the show. We had a lot of people on here. Hey, it doesn't cost you anything to like and subscribe. If you're on here, just push the like button. Subscribe. That way you can view us and give us your comments every week. Also, like and subscribe to the network on Facebook and YouTube to where you can get the notifications for all the shows that we provide to you on this great network, Chicago Clubhouse Network. Do that, please. Hit us with the HBO. Help a brother out special. Hit the like and subscribe. Next, let's go over some of those hilarious comments we had. Like, hit that like. There you go. Hit that like button. Let's go over some comments that we had. If the producer can see some or not, I might just rail down some because I want to get some comments. Let's see. There we go. Is that Little Wayne running out with the Green Bay Packers? I think he is a Packers fan. I think he is.
He is. That's him.
Skylark 99 said the Broncos will beat the Bears if Getty keeps this screens. I agree with that. Anybody else? How?
This game feels like it should be.
Queuing up the circus music. Can't you hear it? Like,
bringing the little clown cars, huh? I hear you, man.
Okay. What else we got? Oh, we have better Italian beef sandwiches than they do in Denver. Okay. Yeah. That's not saying a lot. That's not saying a lot.
Yeah. Especially since they're playing in Soldier Field. So
that's when.
So much for that.
Who do you think's better, the Broncos or the Bears? Well, the Bears have better Italian sandwiches. Next.
I'm with you, Sugar. I'm with you. Like
the Bears looks like the central Skylark with a Bobby Boucher Water Boy reference. That we look like the Mud Dogs. There's a comment from Tony again. He says that he thinks Miami would put up 100 on us. I don't know. This is still professional football. We've never seen that happen, and this is modern day football, so I don't think it would happen. But it doesn't trend well for the fact that we lack a lot of speed. Packers are already in the red zone. That's awesome because this should be the game the Bears finally take advantage. I don't know what we could take advantage of. Take advantage of what, their defense, when we can't stop anybody else and we show it in that. Okay.
Take advantage of what? Take advantage of what?
I don't know. I think we need to take advantage of the fact that we need to run the ball. The Dolphins did run the ball for over 300 yards last week, but the problem we're still seeing today is the Bears are not running the ball enough. Last week, our running backs, the two running backs we have, Roquan and Khalil, Roshan and Khalil, they combined for 15 carries and 69 yards. Roshan, 8 carries for 38 yards, 2 catches for 11 yards, and then Khalil had 7 carries for 31 yards, 2 catches for 4, and he did have a fumble that he lost on the first down play.
Yeah.
On the fumble, snaps, Khalil had 28 snaps, Roshan had 23 snaps. So they're essentially splitting snaps. But the problem is that we're still not running the ball enough. 15 times between two running backs is not enough time for us to run the ball. Obviously, DJ Moore led us in receptions with 3. He had 41 yards. He had a touchdown on a slant that me and the guy, JB, who's on our Tuesday show, we said we don't see enough quick slants. That goes back to mechanics. That goes back to Justin not getting the ball out. Maybe that's just not a thing, whatever. Komet had 2 catches for 22 yards. So with that being said, we have some more comments. Both teams are bad, but the Broncos have a better coach. Yes, they do. They do have a better coach. None of us are going to disagree. What's that comment? They just 1960 something. Do you think the Bears would beat? No, no, we're not. We had this conversation last week. The Bears, statistically, you know how hard it is to lose every game? Only 2 teams, 3 teams in history have done it.
Yeah.
3 teams. The
Lions
70s,
the Lions, the Browns, and who else?
And Lions.
Who else? Coach? The Lions, the Buccaneers,
the Lions, and the Cleveland Browns.
And the Browns.
That is,
yeah.
That's happened 3 times in 100 years. 100 years of football history. We're going to win a game this year. I still have us winning 7. We're still on pace to win 7 games. I think we can still do it, but we've got to see some progression. With that being said, we're going to move on to our last.
Which game?
I gotta look at the doggone schedule. Hold on, real fast. I gotta look at the schedule. I got one on my refrigerator. Okay. So obviously the Bears are not what I thought they would be. I thought they would at least be 1-2 going into game 4. There we go. Let's see, Green Bay. Obviously, I think we can beat the. I have us beating Las Vegas. I have us beating Carolina. I have us beating Minnesota at least once. I have us beating Arizona, and I have us beating Atlanta. Is that 7? So let's say Broncos, Washington. I say Las Vegas. I said Carolina. I say we'll beat the Minnesota Vikings at least once. Atlanta and Arizona. That's 7. That's who I got. Those are the 7 wins I see. So we get swept. I say we get swept by, unfortunately, we get swept by the Lions and we get swept by the Packers. But we split with Minnesota for somehow, some way. So, yeah, I had to grab my my mini. We got a lot of primetime games. I don't know why we have so many primetime games. You know who has too many primetime games this year, and they shouldn't have primetime games this year? The Jets. The NFL has to be scrambling on why they have so many primetime games, and they don't have a quarterback anymore. But with that being said, let's move on to our last.
Flexed.
Huh?
I said they'll all be flexed now.
Oh yeah, but usually the NFL doesn't flex games until like after week 10 or something. Are they going to be start flexing games because the Bears are not good? We have some more primetime games. The primetime games we have the Washington game, which is on Thursday night. We got October 29th game versus the Chargers. We have a primetime game versus Carolina, primetime game versus Minnesota, and then the last game, the Packers game is the to be determined. So I guess that's one of those flex type deals. But I'm pretty sure that'll be a 3:00 or a 3:25 start or whatever. And so it's the Cleveland game. The Cleveland game, according to the schedule I have here, is a to be determined. That's an away game as well. So still the Bears, but yeah, we're still going to get those early primetime games with the Chargers, who don't have Mike Williams anymore, and with Washington, and we're going to see Eric Bieniemy and what he can do as a coach. Maybe we can hire him when we don't have an offensive coordinator. But I'm pretty sure he wants the head coaching job. So let's get into our last segment so we can end the show with our betting predictions, our personal predictions, and our sponsors and network promos. The last segment of the show this week is going to be Coach Chef, that's me, and I'm going to talk about what I think is cooking. I'm not going to take long with this segment. What do I think is cooking? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing is cooking. Nothing. Nothing's cooking. The defense looks bad. The offense looks bad. Our offensive coordinator, we want to get him out of there. We've got secondary injuries. We've got a non-confident quarterback. We've got injuries on the offensive line. We don't even see Tevin Jenkins until week 5. We won't even see Kyler, our corner, our nickel back. We won't even see him until I think week 6. Nothing is cooking right now. Like, I hope we can get something cooking this week, but we don't. The Bears, as a team, as an organization, we don't even have the doggone Arlington thing. That's not even cooking. That's been stalemated because of logistics and taxes and money out in Arlington Heights, and now other towns or townships are trying to get the Bears in. So this week, what's cooking with the Bears? Nothing. Sorry. All right. Yeah. So I think we lost Amp, but we're gonna keep it moving. We got him back. Great. Awesome. We're gonna move into our predictions for this coming up week's game. We're gonna start with, since you just got back, Amp. What do you have a score prediction for the Bears Broncos? The Bears at home as a 3.5 point underdog.
Man, I'm gonna say Bears.
Since you're a betting man, the over under is 46. So maybe that might change.
The over under is 23.
46.
46. I'll take the under on that. The under on that, and I'll take the Bears giving up the 3.5.
What do you get? Actual score.
Actual score would be something like 17 Bears, 20, 21 Denver.
Okay, yeah, the Bears losing. Technically, that's covering. That's 4. They lose by 4. So you wouldn't even take the Bears with the +3.
No.
Sugar and vodka. What's your score?
23-17 Broncos.
17. We're staying around that 23 mark. That 17 mark, I should say. 17-23. I thought we would see more offense this week. I was wrong. I think we're going to see more offense, and I would actually, if I was a betting man, I would take the under because neither defense is successful. So I'm going to say the Bears score a few more points at home. Maybe the home crowd will give us some type of inspiration, although this is in college football. And I'm going to, I'm going to take the Bears. 25-21.
46.
That'll give me a push, huh? All right.
Yeah.
I'll take the. I thought 27 at first. Just because I would take the over, I'll go 27-23. Woo. Okay. Hey, little boy, go somewhere, little terrorist. If I put you outside. All right. So that's our prediction before.
And you were saying this isn't college. What did you mean by that exactly?
I think that the crowd has a bigger advantage in college football than it does the pro game. There are some stadiums that are better for the crowd. I don't think, even with the Bears, I don't think we've done enough as Bears fans at games to warrant an away team saying, "Oh, it's so loud, we can't hear." That's something you see at Arrowhead or what's another stadium that's good with sound? Maybe New York.
So you're also putting down. So you're also putting down the Bears fans.
No, I'm not putting that. No, I'm not putting us down in the sense. I'm just saying that pro fans and the ability we have to affect the game with our value is not as big in pro sports as it is in college. You know, you got the big house that has 100 that seats 100,000. You know, there are multiple stadiums, even the smaller stadiums where West Virginia, they have like they have like these crowds are known for making a ruckus. I don't think NFL
the big house, the horseshoe, and at the horseshoe.
Yeah, all these places. I mean, they have college stadiums are typically bigger. I just don't think I think there's only a handful of stadiums where it gets so loud that it affects the other team's performance. That's what I'm saying.
Let me say this real quick, Chef.
Seattle, Kansas City, I don't think our fan base is going to make it harder on our opponent. That's what I'm saying. And that's a mixture. It's a mixture of. I'm sorry. I just want to say this one last thing. It's just a mixture of how the stadium is built, as well as the fan base. You know, sometimes, but it's more or less how the stadium is built. Most of these stadiums in the NFL that have like crowd affects the game are stadiums that are built for the crowd to affect the stadium. If you get what I'm saying.
You know, I thought you were talking about the score, because the score, my Syracuse won their first game 65-0. But go ahead, Ant. Go on.
All I was going to say is yes, and yes. This crowd, Chicago Bears fans crowd, can affect a game. See, I'm not saying because of the noise. I'm not saying because of the noise, Chef. I'm talking about when we see something that we don't like, it doesn't have to be in the fourth quarter that we start booing. It could, just like Briscoe was talking about, he had never seen that before. The crowd booing in the second quarter. Well, now you know, kid. Now you know. This is what we do in Chicago. When we see something that we don't like, we start booing, especially when we pay our good money for it. You know, so yeah, the fan can affect the game. Our fans can affect it. I'm not saying in a positive way. I'm saying, but they can affect the game. You know, for us as Bears and Bears players, you put that garbage out in the field, they're gonna hear it. So that's what I got.
Update on the Lions Packers. Lions are up 7-3. All right, let's go ahead and keep this moving for our last few little mini segments of the show. We'll do the betting line. Like we said earlier, the Bears are underdogs at plus 3.5. The money line has been plus 136, and the over/under is 46. As of today, it may change. That means if you bet $10 on the Bears, you're only going to win $8.47. If you bet $50, you're only going to win $42.37. If you bet $100 on the Bears, you're only going to win $84.75. That's if you take the point spread. If you take the Broncos as the favorite, which I find hard to believe, because they're the favorite, that you can get more money. If you bet $10 on the Broncos, you get $13.60 back. If you bet $50 on the Broncos, you get $68 back. And if you bet $100 on the Broncos, you get $136 back. I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, and so happens if you just happen to bet just the money line, that means straight up Bears, no matter what the score is, $10 will get you $9.67, $50 will get you $48.08, and $100 will get you $96.50. So, I mean, you could pull the whole, the best way to make money if you're a betting person is to parlay it all. Take the Bears.
Bet on another team.
Then you might save your money. But if you want to win big, I personally, and I'll get you real fast, I would take the Bears plus 3.5. I would take, well, if I have them winning, I have to take the money line and I take the over. So I got the Bears 3.5. I take the money line and I take the over. What you got? How about yourself?
I take the Broncos giving up the 3.5. I take the under on the points, and take the money line. Yeah. All right.
We got to the segment of the show where we're going to just state our sponsor and give us once again for you to like and subscribe to the network. Thank you to our sponsor, Moore's Beer.
Your monkey ass when I feel like it. Better suck my.
Did you see that one coming? Thank you, producer.
But you got to have vision.
Lord. Check out our
gotta have that vision.
check out our other shows for the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Check out Plunked on Sundays with with Emilio and Kristen. And they're Chicago Sox and Cubs fans. The Cubs fans have something to cheer about because they perhaps may make the playoffs this year. Obviously, the Sox don't. Yeah. Also, don't forget Tuesday. Check out our flagship show, Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, with JB, T. Nick, Foulmouth Chris, and Frank the Tank. And hopefully, we don't know who their guest will be this week, but I'm sure it'll be someone outstanding. They always have outstanding ex-players, people from Chicago, the Chicago world of sports and entertainment. There's always a good podcast to check out on Tuesdays. Plus, you ain't doing shit on Tuesdays, so tune the fuck in. Unfortunately, we don't have a Wednesday show right now, but stay looking out for Sherry's show. She said what she said with Sherry Green, a.k.a. Cher Bear, a.k.a. the only Lions fan. So I know she's at home on her prime watching this. And, of course, check us out every Thursday. Chicago Clubhouse Network presents the Midweek Bears Report, starring us three, Amp, Sugar and Vodka, and me, your coach chef. And that's it right now. Do we have any shout-outs before we get out of here? Sugar and Vodka.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have any shout outs. Just shout outs to everybody that tuned in, follow, and subscribe. Sugar and Vodka, and of course the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, the best one around.
I'd like to shout out to everyone that tuned in. We definitely appreciate it. Like and subscribe, share, tell a friend to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. T. Nick, JB, Frank the Tank, Foulmouth, Easy does it, baby. So, and of course, my co-host, Coach Chef, and Sugar and Vodka.
Okay, my shout out will be pretty quick. I think we had one of our best responses by our viewers tonight. So many spots. We got to find a way to get more of our fans on, or excuse me, not fans. Our viewers on to voice their opinions so we can respond back to them. Thank you so much from everybody. Tony, thank you so much. JB, thank you so much. Skylark99, thank you so much. Just some people who have been tagging in all damn show. Crazy ACB, thank you so much. Jeremy Bowman, I think is your name. Thank you so much. Like I said, Skylark, Tony, who else? Paris Hall, thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe to the show. I would like to thank my co-host, Sugar and Vodka, the young lady from a place far, far away, my Southside suburban brother. Amp, thank you so much, brother, for being with us this week once again. And from me, your player coach and your personal cook, Chef, Coach Chef, Diab Muhammad. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you all next week.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.